Public opinion is a compound of folly, weakness, obstinance, right feeling, wrong feeling, prejudice, and newspaper columns. Or so thought Robert Peel. But that same opinion will deliver a government on May the 7th. And with Labour lurching to the left and the Conservatives retrenching into Euroscepticism, the whim of the electorate will have an economic impact not seen for years.
I think there is a big political impact on the economy, and particularly when elections are looming. And we've got two things happening at the moment. There is the general election, obviously, in May, but also the question of our membership of the EU, which could arise after the election. So politics is very important at the moment. You do go through periods where the economy doesn't rely much or is not influenced much by the political situation, but this is one of those times when it is.
I think, quite honestly, that politics has got a bigger influence on the UK economy now than at any time that I can remember, or certainly at any time for the last 30 years. I mean, typically, politics was in the background, and there weren't any real surprises. You knew who the government was going to be, even if you didn't know what kind of majority was going to come up. You know, you'd know Thatcher would win this election or Blair would win that election. Whereas the coming election we have, nobody's got a clue.
Politics and economics are inevitably mixed together in the run-up to a general election campaign. And I think it really is quite difficult to separate the two. Politicians find it hard to separate it, but I think also the media too tends to interpret economics through a political lens during this period.
The electoral clock is ticking down, but the FTSE is soaring to new heights. Are the markets right to be so tranquil at a time when there's such uncertainty in the political sphere?
I'm surprised how complacent the markets are right now. I mean, I think the markets are working on the basis that the next government will be Conservative-led, whether it's, outright or a coalition of some sort. And I don't think the markets have actually thought through either the possibility of a long-term hung parliament, a minority government that doesn't actually command a majority at all, or a more left-wing government under Miliband. And I don't think markets have taken that into account. They may well get a shock.
When Churchill stated there's no such thing as public opinion, only the published opinion, the UK media and political landscapes are radically different to today. With both fragmenting, what role can the press play in electing a leader who's likely to have a major impact in the shape of the UK economy for years to come?
Public opinion is very important. Is it a superpower? I don't know. I mean, but what the public thinks and what the public does is very important. The difficulty with the superpower is that you expect a superpower to be speaking with one voice. I mean, one of the problems we've got at the moment in the UK is the public opinion is very discordant. That's why you've got the rise of smaller parties. That's why you've got so much uncertainty about what happens in the general election.
I wonder how lasting it is, because today's Twitter sensation is forgotten by tomorrow when another Twitter sensation comes along. So I'm not sure I buy into the idea that public opinion is all that important.
You see the newspapers themselves becoming polarised by the political system, and of course most people gain their messaging from the newspapers, and the broadcast media also picks up their messaging from the newspapers. So they do play a very, very big role in the shaping of the political debate and in shaping people's opinion about how they're going to vote when it comes to a general election.
The great parliamentarians, those leaders who shaped the economy of the nation, were nonetheless subject to the tides of public opinion. Gone are the days that traditional media can anoint a new Prime Minister, but real economic change is likely to follow the fancies of the electorate. So, for the financial trends of the future, it may pay to examine the column inches of today.